Cluckin farm raid is the all-new mission which was introduced in the latest update, so let's dive deeper and I will explain all the different parts of this mission and give you some tips so you know how to complete it the fastest and in most efficient way. This new mission was by many and myself believed to be the new heist. Unfortunately, it wasn't the full-on heist, but it is quite a new take on mission design and it itself is quite interesting. The raid at first will take you about 1.5 hours to complete for the first time and about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes next time you complete it. The mission will pay out a generous $500,000, which is really good, but in no way does it beat the long-standing Cayo Perico heist. But this mission is not competing with the Cayo Perico heist and it has a special place which I will talk about at the end. Now let's get into all the missions. Let's first talk about the mission design and then get into the individual missions. For the first time you do this raid, the introduction mission will start with a long cutscene, after which you will have the mission itself. After you complete it, all the missions will be listed for you at the same LSPD building. But if you complete the whole storyline and play the mission again, you will just have to go to the LSPD building and go to the yellow mark on the ground and press E, which will open up the task tab, which will show what you have to complete in order to start the finale mission. The setup missions are quite unique in that they will be an actual mission which will throw you in a preparation screen, after which the mission will start. It is kind of great since this way you won't have to worry about other players in the lobby, but it being this type of mission means that you won't be able to use your Oppressor Mark II or other vehicles you might want. Because of that, my suggestion would be either to use the Armored Kuruma in all the setup missions since it is quite fast and more importantly, enemies won't be able to shoot you while you are inside the car, so you can sit inside and just shoot back at the enemies in the safety of your own car. And if you are rich, you can use the Vigilante, which will be the best vehicle you can use in these types of missions. The Vigilante has homing rocket launcher, which has amazing tracking ability, which is really helpful in these missions, and it also has rocket booster, which will help you move faster around the map. That's it so far from what you have to know. Now let's get into the missions themselves.
This is Vincent.
The raid will start when you get a call from Vincent, who will talk about how he got fired and that he is now working for LSPD and needs your help. After the call, he will ask you to meet at the Vespucci Police Department. When you go there, it will initiate a cutscene where Vincent will explain the whole situation to you. After that cutscene, you will be sent to get money from money laundering businesses, so you have funds for the main raid missions. The mission is quite simple and you won't encounter too much resistance from the enemies. When you have the cash, you will have to deliver it to the Vincent's lockup to finish the mission, and it will be the same place where later all the setup items will be delivered to. If you're doing the raid for the second time, you won't get that cutscene and you will just have to collect the cash from money laundering businesses. When you complete the introduction, you will have to come back to the LSPD building to do all the other missions. In the breaking and entering mission, you will have to do few things and even will have to steal a whole train. First off, you will have to go to the pier and steal a laptop. It might be hard to find that laptop at first, but you will just have to look for these white tables since the laptop will be on them. And there are at least 3 of these tables where this laptop can be. When you have the laptop, you will need to go to the terabyte which is marked on the map to steal a hacking device. When you arrive to it, there will be few waves of drones coming in and you will have to shoot them down. If you are in the Armored Kuruma, you can sit inside and pick them off using your machine gun from the safety. But if you have a minigun, you can just use it and it will make short work of all the drones. When all the drones are down, just go inside and steal the hacking device. When you go outside, you will have another call from Vincent telling you that you will have to steal a train to use in the finale mission. When you arrive to the train location, you will need the keys to start it. So in order to get them, you will have to shoot the cartel members and one of them will drop the keys and you will have to go and collect them. Then just hop in the train and floor it. When you are driving the train, you will see these red areas on your minimap. When you are in them, you need to press E to hack the traffic lights so the train doesn't stop. You can also shoot the enemies while you are driving the train, but from my experience you won't have to shoot them since they won't be really hitting you, so you will stay alive. When you get to this tunnel, you are in a safe place and shortly you will get a cutscene after which the setup is over. Concealed weapons and hit and run are similar missions which you can start in any order you want, and after I talk about them both, I will give my suggestion on which guns and vehicles are best to steal. And let's start with the concealed weapons mission. When you start it, you will get 3 different locations on the map labeled A, B and C. You will also get a text from Vincent with a picture of those 3 gangs in those locations. You will need to only go to one of these locations and from there steal the weapons and gear. To simplify, A will be a small gang with worst guns and no gear, B will be medium-sized gang with good weapons and gear, and C will be the biggest gang with the best weapons and best gear. From my experience, the 2 easiest to steal from will be the A and C, since in the B location you will have to go on a yacht and there will always spawn a helicopter with insane aim and you will likely die. A location won't be worth it since you won't get the gear, so you will need to go to another location. If you want to do the finale mission in stealth mode, you will need guns with suppressors, and only B and C gangs carry guns with suppressors. I'm sure it is getting a bit confusing, so as always I will put up a graphic on the screen so it is easier to understand the pros and cons of all these locations. Obviously, when you steal the weapons, you will have to come back to Vincent's safe house to finish the mission. You can steal more than one weapon loadout, but it is not worth the time since you can only pick one loadout to use in the finale. Now let's get into hit and run, which is really similar. There is also A, B and C locations which will give you different cars. A will give you some sort of a gang car like the Impaler LX, B will give you a random sports car, and C will be some sort of Merryweather car. For me it was the all new Canis Terminus, which I had to shoot down from the helicopter. To simplify, A will be a slow car, B a sports car, and C an off-road car. After you steal the car you want, you need to go all the way north on the map to drop it off. But before dropping it off, you will have to go to the nearby LS customs to repair the vehicle and then drop it off. The same as with weapons, you can steal more than one car, but it is not really worth your time. It is important to know that if you steal weapons, for example from the C gang, and then decide to steal vehicle from the C as well, they will have more security than the last time. But I haven't noticed a huge difference in resistance from the gangs, so if you want to, you can totally rob the same gang for both guns and cars. From my experience, for weapons it is best to steal from the C gang since it will be quite easy to steal from them, and you will also get a suppressed shotgun which you can use for stealth approach in the finale. And for the car, steal from the B gang because they will have a sports car which will prove useful since you will have to travel across the whole map with it. And in both of these missions, if you have armored Kuruma, you will only need a machine pistol to gun down all the enemies. And the last setup mission, disorganized crime. You will have to follow the GPS to go to the marked location where you will have to follow 2 vans and steal their GPS signal to find out where the warehouse is located. You can also shoot down occupants of any of these vans to pick up the outfit, which will help you blend in when you are inside their warehouse. But in order to collect all the things needed from that warehouse, you still will have to shoot all the people inside, so it is not worth to grab that outfit. When you are inside, just shoot all the guards down, not leaving anyone alive since that won't allow you to do finale sneaky approach. When all of them are down, you will have to sabotage 4 of the vehicles by pulling some hoses. After that, come up to here to grab a drill, which you will need in order to find the keycard from the lockboxes. There are 2 rooms where the lockboxes are located. You will have to drill them until you find the keycard. There will also be some cashbacks inside the lockboxes, so theoretically you can drill all the lockboxes to collect all the cash, but at max you will earn $4,000 from that cash, so it is not worth it. Last thing, before you leave the warehouse, you must come to this room to erase all the surveillance footage, so the cartel doesn't suspect you when you are doing the finale mission if you are doing the stealth approach. When you come outside the warehouse, you will see a flatbed truck with a box which you will have to steal and deliver back to the safe house. Now the last mission on the checklist is the scene of the crime, which is actually your finale mission. In this finale you will be shipped on a train in a crate you stole. When you are inside the building, it is the time you will have to choose if you want to be sneaky or go in guns blazing. To be sneaky, you will have to take out the guards one by one without getting detected, and I made a full guide on how to complete the sneaky approach, which I will link down below, and you will also see a pop-up here. The finale is not that hard. You first will have to come to this door to go to the basement where you will have to steal all the bricks of drugs. Then you will have to go to this roll-up door, which will take you to another room where you will need to find the remaining bags of stuff in the boxes. When you go through the main warehouse, somewhere you will find keys which you will need to unlock the office. Finally, all the way at the back of the warehouse there will be an office where you will use the keys you found to enter that room. Here you will hack the computer, after which you will need to pull out your hacking device to search for the free connections. It is pretty simple to use this tool. Blue indicates that you are going in the right direction and the bars will get progressively filled out as you get closer. The places where you will have to go will always be either of these 4 PC setups, which you will have to go up to in different order each time you do the raid. To get a signal, you will just have to stand next to that PC and that's it. When you have all 3 signals, go back to the office where the safe is. You will have the combination of the safe written down on your hacking tool. When you get the stuff from the safe, you are free to leave the warehouse by going to the white mark on the minimap. If you went in guns blazing, all the guards and the police will be on you immediately when you leave the warehouse. And actually, since you have the armored vest on, you can just go straight to the car garage without shooting anybody and you will still survive. When you are inside the garage, you just pick the car you want to drive. That goes if you collected more than 1 car. When you leave the garage, you just have to drive non-stop back to the Vincent's lockup. When you get close to the city, you will have only 3 stars left and you can just go off-roading, which will be the easiest way to lose the cops. When you lose the cops, just go to the location marked on the map and that's it, the mission is over and you earned yourself $500,000. Congratulations! If you want to do the raid again, you will have to wait 1 hour before doing it again. So as I mentioned earlier, this mission has a special place. It definitely doesn't beat the long-standing Cayo Perico heist, but for all the heists like Cayo Perico and Diamond Casino heist, you will have to own expensive properties and will have to have expensive weapons and combat knowledge to complete all the setup missions and the finale. And the new Cluckin farm raid doesn't require you to own some sort of a property and it doesn't require expensive guns to complete the raid. So for starting players, it is an awesome way to make money. Now for the veteran players, it could also be useful to maximize money making since you will have 2.5 hour cooldown after the Cayo Perico heist. So meanwhile, you can do this mission, which will be the close to the second best solo making method. But you might say, wait, what about the Dr. Dre contract? And I'm getting to that point, just wait. Even though the Dr. Dre contract earns you $1 million, it will take you more than 1.5 hours to complete, and to even start it, you will have to own an agency building, and if you want to even be close to completing it in 1.5 hours, you will have to own Oppressor Mark II, since with regular cars, it is going to take you more than 2 hours to complete it. So yeah, the new Cluckin farm raid is a close competitor in making a lot of money if you don't own the agency property or the expensive Oppressor Mark II. But these are just my thoughts, so please leave in the comments down below your thoughts on this new mission. If you like the video, please subscribe, and as always, I will see you lovely people in the next one. Have a wonderful day.